For billions of years, we waited to embrace our full potential. Slowly, we started exploring the world around us. We became organized and skilled. We learned the language of nature. This empowered us to create unbelievable things. With the digital age, our development became exponential. We have become masters of our world. But it comes with a great responsibility. The responsibility lies with those who master technology. With their vision and innovation, they will shape our future. We have made it our mission to find that 1%.
Hello, dear community, friends and partners. In the past years, we had a great time visiting your region and organizing the grand finale. This year, it is no exception. On behalf of the Global Startup Awards, I would like to invite you all on a quick virtual journey to a region which is far, far, far away from you. Do you know what? It is the time for you to visit us. The place where it all started back in 2012, the home of Global Startup Awards, the capital of Denmark, Copenhagen.
Last call to passengers flying to Copenhagen. Please immediately proceed to gate F7.
Let's hurry.
This is your captain speaking. Please note that smoking is strictly prohibited during our flight and it is mandatory to wear a mask throughout this GSA flight. Fasten your seatbelts and relax, this flight is about to take off.
There you go again, looking so handsome. Oh, you have your way, and it's making me weaken. You and your stardust.
Welcome to the happiest country in the world. Today, we are at Newhone, which used to be the gateway from the sea to the old inner city at King Square. One of GSA's important values is to empower entrepreneurship across the Southeast Asia region, regardless of individuals' gender, religion, or any other factor. During my research, I found this amazing example of a businesswoman in Medan, Indonesia, who began selling her signature cake on Instagram when she was only 18. 3 years later, she had sufficient sales to warrant the opening of a physical store and the creation of 2 local jobs. Well done. I honestly hope to see this more often, and from my side, I will keep supporting and fighting for a balanced business path in entrepreneurship, where women and men have equal opportunities. As you may know, the year 2020 was a challenging year for the entire human race, leaving no one untouched by the consequences of COVID-19. It affected how we communicate with each other, and it made us value human connection even more. Therefore, we need to understand how this new way of living actually works. As you probably know, Southeast Asia is known for its tourist attraction for foreigners. However, in the last decades, the startup ecosystem has changed significantly. As an example, Singapore is one of the fastest growing startup ecosystems in Southeast Asia, ranking at number 3 globally. You all probably know Grab. Grab is Singapore's first unicorn with a valuation of $14 billion as of May 2019. This is exactly what we aim at bringing to all countries in the region. And we hope that Global Startup Awards is one of the enablers for other similar cases. Well, it is time to start our show. Let's officially begin with our first category, Ecosystem Hero of the Year.
Ecosystem Hero of the Year. The winner is...
Hey guys, we won!
What? We win!
Best Accelerator Incubator. The winner is...
Thank you so much for joining us. And let me start with this question. What brought you to Southeast Asia?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I actually received the opportunity to work with the Austrian embassy in Thailand. And after that, I stayed in Asia to travel for a bit. I wanted to travel because of my passion for learning and exploration, and I wanted to learn about new cultures and religions and people. And of course, I completely fell in love with Asia and decided to stay afterwards and work on something that is purposeful and impactful for the region. And this is why I stayed.
Being a kind of expat in Southeast Asia, coming from outside of the region and already have been living there for a while, what do you see as the strengths of the region when it's about innovation or startup ecosystem or talents or any of these things?
So I think Asia has a lot of potential in different realms. Given, of course, the market potential as a first thing. It's a growing economy, there's a growing middle class, and you have a very largely young population. Other factors are, for example, the high mobile phone penetration, which allows for digital transformation and digital solutions to be scaled quite rapidly. We also do see an increase in investment and deal flow that is happening within the region and also coming from the outside. And what I personally enjoy the most is working with founders that are very passionate about the problems that they're trying to solve. And this is something that I see a lot in the Asian startup ecosystem.
How do you see the other side of the coin? So what are the challenges of startups and startup ecosystems in Southeast Asia?
So there's also still quite a few challenges, of course, as is with every startup ecosystem. Again, it depends on a country level because all the countries would have different regulations, but depending on which country it is, it can be very easy to open up a business, or it can be a more strenuous process that can take up to weeks or months. So in some areas, there's still a bit of room for maneuver to make those processes a little bit more digitalized and easier to access for people. But I've seen that a lot of countries have actually now eased the processes for people to start businesses and for people to hire talent from abroad. And so I've seen great improvements in those areas as well. Another challenge that kind of relates to this is, of course, the attraction of talent. And this is a problem that I think every startup founder knows, is you're always competing with other companies for the best talent. And in the past, the movement of talent has not been so easy in between the different countries. But again, there are improvements in place now that make this process a lot easier, but of course they take time. So as is with all legislation and regulations, those processes can be a bit slower. And so sometimes it's still a bit hard to attract talent from abroad and to bring them then actually to work for your company.
Yeah, and just one last question around it. What about investment opportunities? As I can see, we in Europe, we are having a good time. There are so much, of course, it's a different question if it's good or not, but there is so much money available on the market from EU funds and even local government funds available. But what about Southeast Asia? Is it easy or much harder, or how is it like?
I think that's a very tricky question. There's always two sides of the coin to this. There's, on the one hand, the people that invest, and on the other hand, the people that look for investment. So if you speak to any startup founder, they're going to say raising capital is very difficult. And if you speak to any investor, they're going to say, I would love to invest, but the startups are simply not investment ready. So there's always two sides of the coin to this. In general, I think there has been a few really high-level investments in Asia, especially in the last 2 years, which is good because those investments also have kind of a lighthouse effect. They show that Asia is an attractive market, that investments can happen, and especially at a certain size. So it's not only business angels deals that are happening in Asia, but you can also raise a Series A or a Series B. So I think having more kind of case studies and more examples helps as well to then increase the funding that comes into the market from abroad. As well as we've seen that there is an increase in general in interest in investing startups. So there's an increased interest of corporates, of governments themselves, of foundations to make more money available to foster innovation.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for inviting me. Thanks so much for still organizing this virtually. I think it's a great event and it brings people together. So I'm always happy to support that.
Thank you.
Yes, I hope we can meet in person soon again.
Best co-working space. The winner is Best Virtual Teamwork Solution. The winner is
an essential part of the Global Startup Awards tribe is the many organizations supporting it. There are ecosystem partners, country partners, and our regional partners who operate the different regions. Let's meet our regional partners for now, yes?
Hello guys, I'm Attila Shander, the CEO of Eurasian Startup Awards, a region that is member and the super happy part of the Global Startup Awards movement. Under the Eurasian Startup Awards region, we are covering 9 countries: Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Turkey and Kazakhstan. Amazing countries, amazing ecosystems, and we are happy to be part of the Global Startup Awards and the grand finale. Stay tuned guys, and see you soon.
Hi, I'm Jo Griffiths.
And I'm Caitlin Nash.
And we are so excited to be launching GSA Africa in 2021.
Africa is widely known as the tech continent of the future, and we'll be shining a light on all 54 countries, connecting Africa to the world and the world to Africa.
On behalf of our co-founders, Marica Matsiboem and Giuseppe Laguidara, we at CZ Team would like to wish you good luck at the competition. We know how much patience and resilience it took to create such an immersive event this year. We know what you have been through, and we really admire such a huge network of enthusiasts and startup heroes. We are proud to be a part of this initiative.
Hello Global Startup Awards, I am Liliana.
I'm Linda.
And we are from Beta Foundation, and we are from the Southeast Asia region, in particular Malaysia.
We want to wish good luck to all the nominees.
Stay safe.
Stay healthy.
Bye.
Investor of the Year. The winner is...
Hello everyone, I'm Jamaluddin Bujang, Managing Partners of Gobi Partners Malaysia. First of all, I'd like to thank Global Startup Awards for this honor. This award is very meaningful to us. It indicates that our efforts has been noticed, at least. Thank you again, Global Startup Awards, and to everyone, stay safe.
So Shannon, thank you for participating in this interview. We know you're busy. You can even see that you are on your way to another meeting right now.
Yeah.
And you are a woman with many talents. It's pretty clear if you go to your LinkedIn, you can see that you have been very busy since I met you 4 years ago in Bangkok. So how would you describe yourself very shortly in 1 or 2 sentences so the viewers can get a feel of what drives Shannon as a businesswoman?
Well, let's see. I am, in its truest form, a businesswoman. Started my career in banking, but fell into entrepreneurship, and I extremely love building companies. I like looking for a problem to solve, but most importantly, and I think this goes for everyone, it's great when you find out that you're useful in a certain way and you have talents or can see an opportunity and actually can build it and shape something from its non-existence to existence to its big entirety. So for me to actually be a part of that whole process and being part of not just owning the process, building teams, working across nations and countries and regional and globally, that I think that is really, that drives me. And of course, that I always need to have some kind of social angle that it builds into my whatever it is that I do and technology. And so, yeah, I think those are the many things that drive me to do what I'm doing.
So Shannon, you have been working quite pan-ASEAN for several years, and you have been the CMO of Moxie Group, which was a Thai-based startup that expanded into the ASEAN region. So based on that experience, do you see 2 or 3 opportunities that you think that the future entrepreneurs of the region should address, because there's a good opportunity and a good possible way to impact the region?
Yeah, I think impact is actually the word, the name of the game. So even though I was CMO of Moxie, which is a woman e-commerce before, today I am a advisor and partner at Gobi Partners, which is a Pan-Asian VC. So we see so many opportunities and so many new problems to solve across the region. And then now, as I mentioned to you earlier, I'm CEO of a 5G business as well here in Thailand. So I think the main thing that I've seen now is that since COVID, and it's been happening before COVID already, they say that digital is the biggest, COVID is the biggest digital disruption and digital transformation, especially here in ASEAN. So whoever wasn't online before definitely is online now. So tech definitely, we're in the right space. So that's one. But when you get down to the verticals, there's everything from healthcare, bio, supply systems that were disrupted, new ways of education, new business models that's come out. I think when it comes down to it, what's happened through a lot of conversation here with VCs and everybody here is, you know what, there's been a lot of time for e-commerce and beauty solutions, and I'm not saying anything about that, but I think there's a big underserved market in terms of problems that the underserved just don't have access to, and now with digital, like, we do have access to it. So anything with impact, and you can still have financially driven impact via tech, and it doesn't have to be like a CSR program. So I think anything with impact, look at some SDGs, look at some have a ESG framework to hedge your risk. I think that's definitely the way to go now.
Shannon, you have a very close relationship to the investment scene Pan-ASEAN, and based on that experience, have you seen any change in demographics of the founders that come to you or are interested in getting an investment for their company?
So I see three main changes. One is definitely geography. It used to be the entrepreneurs used to come from just the cities, but now we're actually seeing a little bit more from not completely rural, but second cities of the various different Southeast Asian countries. Second thing that I see is technology. So we used to invest in a lot of business models like e-commerce, logistics, etc. But now we've definitely moved to a little bit more deep tech and hard, like the AIs, the programmers, especially in Vietnam. So we've seen a lot more change in terms of what types of investments, what types of businesses the entrepreneurs are doing. And lastly, a lot more changes in terms of women entrepreneurship. Over the past 10 years, basically, we're seeing a lot more women getting into not just e-commerce and logistics, but really deep hardcore tech such as biotech and energy as well.
Well, thanks a lot, Shannon.
Thanks so much, Kim. It's so good seeing you.
That's like the robot, that sort of thing, anything that is man-made to help you and to do something like that, yeah.
Oh, that's an old movie.
Ooh, that's what's gonna take over the world one day. That's like Siri and Cortana in your computers and phones.
It's rubbish. Humans are a lot better.
Like Leonardo da Vinci has an artificial intelligence.
A business angel would be a rare species.
It's right now I cannot say.
That's difficult.
I don't. Are these real things? A business angel?
Someone who could help you if you have trouble. That would be your angel.
It's a financial advisor. That's what I think. So, someone who will help you through debts, to be out of debt.
Some materials, I guess.
A person that comes by and saves you from bad startup ideas. I don't know.
A business angel? Never heard of it.
An investor who invests in startups or small businesses and help them grow.
A unicorn is a mythical creature that's been made up by people to tell their stories to children.
I would think it's an animal, unicorn.
Something that doesn't exist. A horse.
A unicorn. I think the unicorn is a fantasy horse with the horns.
I think so.
Unicorn is extinct animal.
I work for a company where our logo is a unicorn.
Unicorn is a imaginary horse which has a bone coming out of his head.
I haven't brushed up my Norse mythology, but I really hope it actually existed at some point.
No, but I like unicorns, so I'll probably like it.
What's a unicorn?
A search engine? I don't know.
I'm not really sure, but I'm just gonna take a wild guess. Maybe I think it's... Yo, I don't really know. I don't really know. I won't lie.
Sounds pretty much like everything on the internet.
It's a very fancy term.
Many things, yeah.
That would be a Finnish technical industry.
Some kind of technology invented in Finland. No clue at all. No. Fintech? Oh man, you're asking some really difficult questions.
I don't know, some kind of program? Computer program? Yeah.
Founder of the Year. The winner is...
Hi, I'm Kelvin. I'm the co-founder of Funding Societies. We'd like to thank the organizer for the Global Startup Award. And I'd like to dedicate this to all the hardworking team members at Funding Societies who are continuously endeavor to improve and serve our SMEs and investors better in Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Have you heard the news about Indonesia? Apparently, Indonesia is one of the upcoming internet economies in Southeast Asia. According to the research conducted by some sources, the country's internet economy is currently worth at $100 billion, and it would be tripling in value by 2025 with a valuation of $300 billion. This is massive. Breaking news. We have just received information from an internal source of the Queen's Castle that Her Majesty is watching this online award show. Let's say hello to the Queen. And now, let me introduce you to our next category, Best Newcomer.
Best Newcomer. The winner is...
Come on, thank you.
Merci.
Sisi. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much to everyone who voted us, the Startup Awards. Thank you very much to all the entrepreneurs, investors, founders, and everybody in the startup community. Keep moving up. And once again, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And my first question would be, what is your passion? What makes you passionate about the things that you do?
I don't like rules. I mean, the reason why I became an entrepreneur is I wanted to be able to make things, right? What drives me is possibilities. And I tend to gravitate around projects that allows me to be original, right? And create new things. And then usually I get bored very quickly and then somebody else will take over and make it fly. But the passion is actually creating new things, going into unknown areas, making sense out of chaos. That is pretty much Lily. And what Beta Foundation is, we take on a lot of projects that's unusual, or if it's usual, we make it unique.
How do you see Malaysia, especially in the context of the region? What is the role of Malaysia in the ASEAN region when it's about the startup ecosystem?
Okay, well, historically, Malaysia has always been the lead, with Singapore. Lately, it's going through a lot of, growing up, right? Before, everything was whatever the government says, we follow. But after a few years, you've invested in people, and people start having minds of their own, and they're very connected with the world, right? So they want some changes, and a lot of it has got to do with finding our own national identity. Malaysia is a very young country. It's only 50 years old, right? 60 years old. And defining that is hard. And at the same time, we're working in a region that's very highly accelerated, very competitive, right? So it's important for Malaysia to actually find out what's unique about themselves, be proud of it, and then start making economics around that, right? I think the whole COVID reset actually has been very good for Malaysia. In the beginning of the COVID lockdown last year in March, a lot of people lost jobs, and there was a lot of fear, right? And then you quickly see how Malaysians band together to make it better, right? And when people didn't, really believe in digitization and how digitization can actually not just collect data, but also make people collaborate and make people more productive and efficient. You see major changes in behavior, right? So it used to be companies did not believe in working from home, but COVID has made it look like you're probably more efficient working from home, right? Because especially in Kuala Lumpur, most of the time you're stuck in traffic jams, right? You can only make 2 meetings a day if you have to go across town. Whereas if you're at home and you're connecting via Zoom or Teams, you can make 6 meetings, and a lot of things are decided. And we were very surprised that there were so many national projects that was rolled out by teams that never met, remotely, and they were just making decisions and doing things online. So I think the COVID reset is good. It allowed for new perspectives. It allowed for trying out new things because people don't want to change so easily. But because the situation forced you to change, I think you discover new behaviors and new norms that are very positive. Yeah.
How do you see ASEAN's inter-regional connections with other regions in Asia or in Europe or the US? So which are the most important kind of partners or stakeholders or most desired destinations for startup ecosystem players from the ASEAN region?
I think in Southeast Asia, the 2 major blocks still remain China and the US, right? The US is a huge trading partner in terms of goods that is coming in and out of that country, right? And because of that, the bilateral trade has been around for a long time. A lot of Southeast Asian countries, ASEAN countries, do export stuff to the United States, right? But there's also a change. China is also becoming a good trading partner and technology partner, right? So does that mean we don't do work with Europe and Middle East? It still does, but I think when it comes to what's closest, we're closer across the Pacific with the Americans, and then just up north to China. I think, but with China, I think in general, people are still kind of iffy because it's such a big entity, right? And when they come in with just lots of money and lots of technology. It can be very overwhelming. So for a lot of Southeast Asian countries, it's about trying to find a way so that you can stand on equal standing with these giants, right? And to know exactly what is it that you're looking for and what you need for your country.
Great. Thank you so much.
People's Choice. The winner is... Startup of the Year. The winner is...
Hi, I'm Kelvin. I'm the co-founder of Finding Societies. We'd like to thank the organizer for the Global Startup Award. And I'd like to dedicate this to all the hardworking team members at Finding Societies who will continuously endeavor to improve and serve our SMEs and investors better in Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us in this virtual journey. On behalf of GSA, I would like to congratulate all the winners and finalists for participating in the Startup Awards. It is with great pleasure that we can count with so many good finalists in this regional round. Let's continue building great ideas and making new friends all around the world. We will meet next year at the Global Round, where all regional winners will come together and fight for the global title. Until then, the best of luck, and we wish you a wonderful flight back home. Stay safe.